So, DeMar, you've spent the last 3 seasons with the Chicago Bulls experiencing, both highs and lows, but reflecting on your time in Chicago, how would you, summarize your overall experience being there?
It definitely was a resurgence because, playing in San Antonio, not that big of a market. I think it was, a complete just like down year, like in the world. So much went on my 3 years in San Antonio with a pandemic, us going to a bubble, us, playing with no fans. Like it was a lot that went on those 3 years in San Antonio. So going to Chicago, major city, iconic organization, to go back, especially with my first year there, having a year that I had, being an all-star, being in an MVP race, everything. Like it was kind of like a, dream come true, in a resurgence of a season, playing with all those guys, and the next year the same, being all-star again, having a banged up team, fighting against the odds, everything, and even to this last year, me being, 34, I think I missed 3 games. I think I led the lead in minutes played by far. Like, those just show, just the hard work, the dedication, the love of the game that I had, and just the will that, I tried to have to, just put the Bulls back on top, make the Bulls a respectable team, So, I gave it my all, through the ups and downs, the good, the bad, the ugly. But, one thing I really appreciate about that my time in Chicago was definitely my teammates, all of them, from Kobe White to, Pat Williams to Vooch to, Zach to Lonzo, all those guys that I played with, man. It was a special time. I gained a different type of bond with most of those guys that was there for sure.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned, that core guys and Lonzo and Caruso and Pat
my
Williams.
dog AC. That's my favorite.
I was gonna say you missed
Listen, my bad, AC.
Yeah,
AC,
best player. No,
I ain't gonna lie, Caruso. I gotta put this out here. Caruso probably my top 3 favorite teammates of all time, man.
Yeah.
I love that dude, man. I love AC, man. Like he know how I greet him every time I see him. That's my dog.
So joining that core guys, like I know for me, when I first got that trade and went to Oklahoma, I knew immediately I had to change my game and tried to elevate. When I went to LA, I knew I had to change my game and try to elevate. When you went to Chicago and you with that core, with Lonzo, with LaVine, with Caruso, Pat Williams, Vucevic, what part of your game was you like, I need to elevate and I need to add that to this group?
I think my time in San Antonio put me in a place to where like it was like a university that I graduated in 3 years when I was in San Antonio, because Pop challenged me in a whole different level that I've never been challenged in before.
Mm-hmm.
More so from understanding how to be a playmaker, how to play without the ball, how to make your teammates around you way better, make them comfortable, make them find different ways in having confidence in the game. And I carried all that over with my ability, obviously, to be able to score when I went to, to Chicago. And I kind of put all that together, and I kind of also felt free again, because I always try to play in a system when I was in San Antonio. But when I got to Chicago, I remember the first thing they told me was, be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's all I needed to hear. And I kind of just, unleashed it.
Mm-hmm. Shout out Billy. I know
Yeah,
Billy let you rock.
Shout out Billy, man. Billy Donovan, man. He let me,
Yeah, nah, Billy let you rock.
Billy let
that's
you
one
rock,
thing I
man.
fuck with Billy for, man. He
Yeah.
let you hoop, he let you play, he let you
Yeah.
fuck up, he let you do, you know what I mean?
You
As
can
long
talk-
as it's in
Yeah, you could talk to him about anything.
anything.
Billy, I love Billy, man.
Yeah.
Upon your arrival in Chicago, you had just mentioned you had some young guys on the team with Kobe White and Patrick Williams, who have shown a ton of improvement since they've got into the league. How would you, as a vet now, engage with those younger players and either give them tidbits, wisdom, whatever you want to call it, to motivate them to get better year after year?
I think more so for me, I show myself to be overly relatable to them. You know, I don't perceive myself of being like, you know, I'm this much older than you. I played this many more games than you. It's like, nah, I'm a man like you a man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna respect you as such. And with that, everything I do know that you may not know, I want you to have. And I really approach it from that standpoint as like y'all my partners, and I want y'all to have everything that I probably wasn't able to have at your age. And, you know, they're overly receptive of that. And like that's to my point. Like those dudes like listen, they ask questions, they sit and listen. They, you know, there's been times I sat and talked to the young dudes for like hours, whether if it was on a plane, in the locker room, shoot the shit with them, because it's like I want them to understand what it takes to be special and play a long time in this league. And with that, I lead by example by doing all the other stuff that I may not say, by being on time, you know, being respectable, understanding and being considerate of everybody else's space when it comes to, you know, the weight room, on the court, locker room, playing, letting it, whatever it may be. You know, a lot of things that may go over a lot of people's head that I try to just be consistent with so guys can see and understand what it takes to be in the league a long time. You know, the goal is to play as long as you as you desire. But with that understanding, like the game got so much to give, don't disrespect it.
I know you and Zach was tight, and you know, it was a long summer for me as well, being in LA, not knowing what my outcome was gonna be, but I knew, you know what I mean, I had to be connected with why, right?
Yeah.
Hitting why, like, yo, I'm thinking about doing this, I'm thinking about doing that. Ultimately, it came to an end where why was the first phone call I had to make.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, shit didn't work out here. I got to go elsewhere. What was that conversation like with you and Zach when you was ultimately, hey, my time here in Chicago is over?
You know, it's crazy. Like, and this is probably insight to the fans that probably don't understand how the business may work. But, you know, from our perspective, we know you kind of have a feel and understanding way before anything happens.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these conversations was talked about, you know, early on as certain things being a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And if this is a possibility, these are the options. This is how I may go. Look out for this, expect this. So me and Zach used to have a lot of those conversations on a plane, you know, in a locker room, especially, you know, he was going through a lot this season with injuries and, you know, everything he was going through with rumors and everything. So more so me always trying to have those conversations with him so it could be, you know, one, reassuring and understanding that, you know, like this is part of the game. This is part of the business that we in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this may happen if this don't happen. So it was a constant communication of everything along the way, the ifs, the possibilities. So when it came to make a decision, it wasn't a surprise or a shocking anything.
Right.
It was more so like, you know, go be happy, go win. You deserve to win.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was always that constant communication with, especially with me and Zach.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I do before because that team was super talented, bro.
Yeah.
When you think of Lonzo, if he don't get hurt, Zach, if he don't get hurt, Pat Williams is up and coming. Caruso as a sixth man is crazy. Vucevic is one of the best young bigs, not young anymore, but he's one of the best bigs in our league. Like when you look at the team that could have been, like, is it a little bit of like, damn, I wish like this window could have been a lot better?
For sure.
Had things gone differently.
100%, because like I was so close with all the guys, like, you know, like Ayo Dosunmu, that, you know, I wanted to be a part of like their success as well as their growth. Like I watched how hard these dudes work. And these conversations I had with all of them, from Kobe and all this, to where it's like, yo, but that's another part that I think people don't understand, like how much I try to bust my ass, even with us dealing with so many injuries against the gun and not having everything we may need. I try to salvage so much because I didn't want to see it go, because I wanted to be part of these young guys that work so hard, success. So it was like, come on, man, we got to we got to do this, because if it go the other way, you know, from the top, they got to make a decision. And when they make a decision, it's going to go down a whole nother route that may prolong the success, you seeing success.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
that was one thing, like, I always was hopeful for, because I wanted to be a part of all those young guys' success. I wanted to win with them. I wanted to be a part of, you know, what it was like, you know, those first 4 months, my first year in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So
PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 5 million members across the country, it is the most fun and exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. Right now, one Caleb Williams passing yard gets you one win on PrizePicks every week in the month of September. That's right, only one passing yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss the deal on PrizePicks, because it's gone when September ends. Download the app today and use our promo code PODCASTP to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. So you can start the football season by downloading the app today and using our code PODCASTP to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game.